The Wednesday, June 28th, 2023 morning session of the Portland City Council. It's good to see you, Keelan. Please call the roll.
Thank you. Good morning. Ryan.
Here.
Gonzalez.
Here.
Maps.
Here.
Rubio.
Here.
Wheeler.
Here. And we'll now hear from legal counsel on the rules of order and decorum. Good morning.
Good morning. Welcome to Portland City Council. To testify before council in person or virtually, you must sign up in advance on the council agenda at www.portland.gov/council/agenda. Information on engaging with City Council can be found on the council clerk's webpage. The presiding officer preserves order and decorum during City Council meetings. The presiding officer determines the length of testimony. Individuals generally have 3 minutes to testify unless otherwise stated. A timer will indicate when your time is done. Disruptive conduct such as shouting, refusing to conclude your testimony when your time is up, or interrupting others' testimony or council deliberations will not be allowed. If you cause a disruption, a warning will be given. Further disruption will result in ejection from the meeting. Anyone who fails to leave once ejected is subject to arrest for trespass. Additionally, council may take a short recess and reconvene virtually. Your testimony today should address the matter being considered. When testifying, please state your name for the record. Your address is not necessary. Disclose if you are a lobbyist. If you are representing an organization, please identify it. For testifiers joining virtually, please unmute yourself once the council clerk calls your name. Thank you.
Thank you. And colleagues, since we are approaching 6 months into the year, this is an auspicious occasion. This is when we switch the presidency of the council from one committee member to another. Commissioner Ryan, I want to thank you for your service as council president over the last 6 months. You've done a really great job and you've filled in many times, and I have appreciated being able to rely on you as a very, very able council president. So thank you for your service in that capacity. Colleagues, I'd like to move that Commissioner Rubio be elected council president for the following 6 months starting July 1st.
Second. So moved.
We have a second from Commissioner Gonzalez. Any further discussion? Please call the roll.
Ryan.
Aye.
Gonzalez.
Aye.
Maps.
Aye.
Rubio.
Aye.
Wheeler.
I want to thank Commissioner Rubio. This will be your second
This
time
yes.
serving. So you're coming back really as an emeritus council president. You know the ropes. You know what it means to fill in. And I'm grateful for your service. I vote aye, and the motion passes, and congratulations, Madam President. Next up, communications. First up, first individual item 522, please.
Request of Alexandria Bradley to address council regarding Normandale Park Memorial. They canceled their request.
And how about 523? Did they also cancel, or are they here?
Yeah, request of Deja Beck to address council regarding Normandale Park Memorial. They also canceled.
Okay, very good. 524, next individual.
Request of Susan Griffin to address council regarding downtown Portland.
Good morning. Welcome. Yeah, please, come on up, and we'll get a chair out of the way there for you. One moment. Thank you for being here. Thanks, Keelan.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for being here.
I'm sorry.
It's all right. Keelan.
This is good. Good morning. My name is Susan Griffin.
Hi, Susan.
I'm a resident downtown. I live 3 blocks from the courthouse. I've lived there in the apartment building I've lived there for 8 years. In the apartment I live in, I've lived for 6. And so I'm here because I would like to request that the city council and the mayor recognize the trauma that downtown residents have endured. When under a mandated lockdown, we were unable to leave our apartments, and we were forced not to even stay with friends or family during the violent riots of 2020. A mandated lockdown, our friends and our family didn't even want us to come and stay with them. And so for over 150 consecutive nights, downtown residents were confronted with tear gas. We were subjected to months of hovering helicopters, flashbangs, mortars, ranting and chanting, violence. I listened to No Lives Matter until Black Lives Matter so many times until I actually believed that about myself. And as a result of that, I took some really huge losses physically. I went from 178 pounds down to 104 because of the stress, the sleep deprivation, the fear. And we still live in fear because we know that at any time that can come right back to our neighborhood. And we now deal with the aftermath and the fallout from them, and also from defunding the PPB and decriminalizing drugs. I live around the South Park blocks. It used to be one of the safest and nicest places that I enjoyed walking. I used to be able to walk 5 miles a day, and I did before the riots. And now I'm in a wheelchair, I'm braced, and I've easily become a walking target in downtown Portland. I'm very concerned for my safety and my neighbor's safety. I've been assaulted 5 times in this city in the last 3 years by homeless, aggressive men who wanted nothing but money for their drugs. Fractured a breastbone. Had that man hit me 1 inch to the left, he would have fractured my sternum and probably killed me. But that's all I have left. Recently, I've seen 6 dead men on downtown streets and sprawled out in Safeway's door entrances. It is still traumatizing to live downtown. 2 of those men, I'm pretty sure, died of their overdoses. I woke up every morning for over 2 years with tears dripping into my ears, exhausted from months of sleep deprivation, suicidal, and literally having to choose whether or not to live another day or jump out of my 10th-story window. Multnomah County Crisis Line hung up on me when I called them in a crisis, and Cascadia Behavioral Health laughed and scoffed at me. Today, I'm happy to say I'm getting some mental health care through different insurance. I've taken care of that. But to be very honest, the last 3 years of my life have been harder than the first 3 years after my only child died in 1982. If you can imagine a mother saying that, I want you to hear that, and I want you to see me as a human being. Everything else in this city has been addressed. Rioters, anarchists, jail inmates, birds, trees, businesses large and small, even gutter rats have made news. But downtown residents, human beings, we've never been addressed by this city. And our trauma deserves to be addressed. I've emailed you guys for 3 years, contacted your offices for 3 years, and never heard back. So I'm sorry I went over 3 minutes. My neighbors in my building now call their apartments pre-casket coffins. Because they know that they're just old and waiting to die and that nobody gives a damn about us. And I am the only person in my building that's had the nerve to stand up and say, this is not right. We deserve some help. As one of my neighbors recently described, downtown as a death camp, and we survive amongst Portland's walking dead. So in closing, I just want to say, if downtown businesses cannot thrive or survive in downtown, how do you expect human beings, the residents, to? And so I ask for 4 A's. Please acknowledge us, apologize to us, act on our behalf, and assist us. All I would like personally is just some assistance so I can get relocated out of the downtown core. And I'm sorry that I went over my time.
Not at all. And if I may comment, first of all, thank you for being here. And you've done a public service because you've highlighted something I think about all the time. I'm not ready yet to talk about 2020 or 2021 or 2022 in terms of the personal trauma that I still feel personally and what it did to my family. Someday I will be able to talk about it, but I haven't really processed it fully yet. But like you, from a different perspective, I also still have nightmares. I still remember people trying to blow up my house. I still remember people chasing my daughter and my now ex-wife as my small child was trying to get to her car to go to school. I remember them being followed to middle school by self-described anarchists, adult men. I remember them throwing rocks at my daughter's window and screaming that her father was a Nazi sympathizer. I remember them shooting mortars at my building when I lived in Northwest Portland, one blowing up
We still have
on
those.
about the 11th or 12th floor of the building in which we lived, and there was a small child standing on the porch, but fortunately it had a plexiglass porch cover instead of just railings because it blew up with such force that it left permanent marks. I remember people trying to occupy the intersection in front of my house while holding up signs that I cannot describe and screaming that Black Lives Matters while they destroyed a business owned by an Arab American and vandalized one owned by Vietnamese Americans, but curiously left the other businesses untouched. I remember people marauding down Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard, mostly young white people wearing black, destroying black-owned businesses and then having the audacity to spray paint BLM. on the remains of those businesses. I remember standing with black leaders the next day in front of the microphones denouncing that kind of activity and having the media barely cover it. There's a lot of trauma, and you experienced it up close in person, you and your neighbors, because downtown was ground zero for all of that. I cannot imagine what you, as a disabled individual, as somebody who had the courage to express, works through some behavioral health issues, and I appreciate your honesty and your courage and your forthrightness on that. You do have my apology.
Thank you.
You have my deepest, sincerest, most personal apology that you had to experience that. You should not have to experience it. Nobody should have to experience that. And as we go forward, I want to give you some encouragement. This council is unified. I speak for all of us when I say we want our downtown recovered. We want it back. We want it back for the people who live here, the people who work here, the people who play here, the people who pay the bills around here. We want it back, and we're working hard to do that. We're increasing our police presence. We're making significant investments. We're working with our business community to make sure they stay here. We're working with residents to make sure that we keep the streets clean, that we improve the situation, that we have alternatives for people who are living on the streets, that we are addressing the drug problem in our city, and we're going to actually talk about that a little bit later today. We're going to get it right, and it's because of people like you that we're going to do it. The first step, as you said, is acknowledge. And we have to do more than that. We have to say, look, this is not where we want to be. This is where we want to go. We want a safe community. We want a clean community. We want one where people don't feel that their only option is to live outside in an unsanctioned camp. I don't want any unsanctioned camps anywhere in the city of Portland. We want the litter cleaned up. We want the graffiti cleaned up. And we want people to feel safe again, regardless of their personal conditions. Everybody deserves to feel safe in this community, and everybody here has a place, and everybody deserves to feel respected. And that's what we are working towards. And I'll close by just saying thank you. I know it was hard for you to get here today, but it's an important statement that you've made, and I appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Can I just say one thing?
Yes, of course.
You know, we still hear mortars in the middle of the night explode downtown on a regular basis.
And I'm not sure what that is, but
And it gets really bad when I get to the point where, I don't know, was that an explosion or was that a mortar? Should I call the cops or not? You know, but on a regular basis, we hear them. And they rock me out of bed. I mean, it reminds me of the very first night of the riots when the first flash grenade rocked me out of bed. You know, and then it just never stopped. I mean, and all of that just triggers this PTSD that I had prior to the riots.
well, thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Hopefully we'll see you again. Thank you. All right, next individual, please, Keelan, 524, please.
I think we're on item 525.
Oh, I'm sorry, I apologize. Yeah, 525.
Great, thank you. Request of Martin Lopez to address council regarding requirements for union representation in ordinance 190700.
Hi, Mark. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
Thanks, Megan.
Just need a quick second. Okay. All right. Cool. All right.
Good day.
Thanks for being.
Yeah, thank you guys. So last week, our company, House of Lopez Campa LLC, received a notice of intent to negotiate and award a contract to provide janitorial services for the City of Portland's FPDR, Fire and Police Disability and Retirement Bureau department at the Harrison Square building. Solicitation number, RFP number 00002086, along with multiple other requirements that are needed to do business with the City of Portland. This contract is also requiring the awarded contract to use union represented staff per City of Portland Council Ordinance 190700, Section 1.3. This was established February 16th, 2022. And in addition to that, City of Portland's council made a resolution to the sustainability procurement policy to include a labor peace agreement, which was established March 25th, 2020. Although these resolutions seem fair in their own right, we, as a small business, do not believe that this ordinance and resolution adheres to small businesses looking to procure business with the City of Portland, which, from what I just heard, is kind of a main initiative right now here in Portland, Oregon. I would like to refer to the Regional Workforce Equity Agreement, which is usually for construction-based projects. But in Section 13.4, this part of it exempts minority-owned small business firms from union workforce requirements. And I kind of want this to be kind of amended, or however you guys work that in the ordinance. So this is some of the language that it includes. Part A in 13.4, it's equity contractors may utilize core employees without regard to the order and ratio set forth in section 7.4.b. Equity contractors' employees shall not be required to join any union, including the unions, and no contributions to unions, their benefit programs, or trust funds shall be required by or on behalf of equity contractor employees. And C, equity contractors and their employees shall not be required to pay representation fees, initiation fees, union dues, checkoffs, fines, or any other payments to union benefit programs or trust funds.
Thank you. Commissioner Gonzalez, I think, has a comment.
Yeah, Mr. Lopez, thanks so much for testifying. I was just briefed a little bit about your situation. Nick from my office is in the back there, so I would ask if you could connect with him on it, and let's see what we can do on this matter. So appreciate you testifying. I don't know all the details, but that is the fire pension and police pension building, I believe, or space that this refers to. And I know there's some history here. I don't know all the details. I want to acknowledge the issues you've raised, and if you could connect with Nick on my team, we'd like to see what we can do to help.
Yeah, that'd be great. And I just want to know as to like a timeline or how you guys like run things as far as like, do you know, like would an amendment be possible for the ordinance, or what does that look like exactly?
I might need help from my colleagues in the city attorney's office on that question, to a certain extent, procurement. There, I think, is some further history on that particular space that we'd like to get a little bit up to speed on, because there was a little bit of a question as to whether the union mandate would apply in that situation. So there's more to that story that we need to unpack, separate from the ordinance you're referencing. So I appreciate the time sensitivity and the challenges of small business trying to navigate the city procurement requirements. We sometimes talk out of one side and it conflicts with the other. I get your point there.
Correct.
But please coordinate with Nick, and we'll coordinate with the other offices on this.
Yeah, appreciate it. And yeah, it really is just something also kind of look through the sustainable procurement policies here in Portland. Me as a government contractor here in the city, I have noticed that most awards have been going towards larger size companies, and I'm not saying that is purposeful on the behalf of City of Portland, but it is something to look at as to how we can adhere better to small businesses, specifically minority-owned small businesses, women-owned small businesses, and veteran disability owned business. So, yeah, if I feel like if little things like this can be adjusted, it could really help in this space. Yeah, because government contracting is it's a great platform for small businesses to do better here in the city, and a faster way to do it too.
Thank you.
That's all I got.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate your being here. And last but not least, 526, please.
Request of Joseph Sponsler to address council regarding transition from diesel to solar generators.
Welcome.
I believe Joseph was planning to join in person. Is Joseph here?
Is he online? All right. Doesn't look like it. Let's go to 527, or actually, let me get rid of the consent agenda. Have any items been pulled off the consent agenda?
No items have been pulled.
Please call the roll on the consent agenda.
Ryan.
Aye.
Gonzalez.
Aye.
Maps.
Aye.
Rubio.
Aye.
Wheeler.
Aye. The consent agenda is adopted. First time certain item, please. Item number 527.
Proclaim July 4th through the 9th, 2023 to be National Veterans Wheelchair Games Week.
Awesome. Colleagues, our next item is a proclamation honoring National Veterans Wheelchairs Games Week, which will be held in Portland this year from July 4th to July 9th, so just right around the corner. I'd like to welcome David Holt, who's the director of the VA Portland Healthcare System, Sean Benson, also from the VA Portland and the local chair of the National Veterans Wheelchair Games, Mika Asher, who's the vice chair of public affairs, and Heidi Frawley, who's a nurse and administrative officer. When you're ready, go ahead and begin your presentation, and thanks so much for being here today. We appreciate it.
It's great to be here, Mayor Wheeler and commissioners. I'm David Holt. I am the new director of the VA Portland Healthcare System up on the Hill.
Excellent.
I was previously in Southern Oregon as director of the White City VA Medical Center. So grateful to be here in Portland with all of you. We are excited next week to host, along with the City of Portland and Paralyzed Veterans of America and the VA, our VA National Wheelchair Games. And with that, I'm going to turn my time over to Mr. Sean Benson as the director. Sean?
Welcome.
Thank you. And thanks to the City of Portland. The National Veteran Wheelchair Games is co-presented by the Department of Veterans Affairs and the Paralyzed Veterans of America. On behalf of the more than 400 wheelchair veterans that are coming to compete from around the country, Puerto Rico, and Great Britain, to compete in the 23 events that we have, not only at the Oregon Convention Center, but the surrounding, several surrounding venues. I would like to thank the support we've received from the Rose City, including Travel Portland, Sport Oregon, and our own PVA chapter, Tri-State PVA. And I'll turn my comments over to my colleagues.
My name is Mika Asher, Public Affairs Vice Chair for the Wheelchair Games. Just like to encourage everyone to come out to the games. We're kicking things off on July 4th with an opening ceremonies. It's going to be a parade of athletes, of all our athletes that are arriving from all across the United States, Great Britain, Puerto Rico. We're going to have the lighting of a cauldron. And in addition, we have several other events occurring at the games, in addition to the athlete events. So we're going to have a Kids Day event, which is a great opportunity for kids in wheelchairs to be paired with athletes from the games to try out some of the different sports. So that's going to be a great opportunity. We're also having guest services. So we're going to have guest service stations that is going to be providing information to spectators and our local athletes about the City of Portland, various landmarks, and just information about the City of Portland to encourage everyone to explore, what the city has to offer, and hopefully provide information to our athletes to explore the city and the state of Oregon outside of the games.
Thank you.
Heidi Frawley. I am so excited, along with my colleagues, to just welcome our veterans. 411 of them will become rolling in, literally will become rolling in to enjoy our beautiful city. We're going to be at Mount Hood Community College. We're going to be at PIR. We're going to be at Kingpin. And we just have an OMSI. And so they're going to get a great taste of what our city has to offer. We're the city of roses, we're recovering, we need to bring our tourism back, and this is such a great way to do it. So thankful for the VA Portland Healthcare Systems and the Paralyzed Veterans of America to partner with us, and all of the community that's coming out to help volunteer and to come. We need spectators. We need people to come and root them on. As a nurse, it's amazing to take care of somebody at the bedside and to see them in competing and the camaraderie between all of our athletes. So please come and join us, and thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Does that complete your presentation?
It does.
Very good. Well, thank you for this presentation this morning and being here to highlight what is obviously a really important event, not just for the athletes who are participating directly, but for the entire community. And we're so pleased that you're doing it. I'd like to open the floor first to my colleagues for their remarks. I'll speak last, and then I'll read a proclamation on behalf of the council, but we'll start it off with Commissioner Mapps.
Well, thank you very much. Let me begin by thanking our guests for today's presentation. And I want to say this, Mr. Mayor, colleagues, I'm delighted to join you in declaring July 4th through July 9th, 2023 to be National Veterans Wheelchair Games Week. Portland, as we heard, will host this year's games. These games will include more than 400 veterans who will compete in 23 sports. These games have been around since 1981, when the Department of Veterans Affairs launched the games. And in the past 40 years, this event has grown to be our nation's largest wheelchair sports and rehabilitation event for military veterans. These are true heroes who will be competing this week. Competitors include veterans with spinal cord injuries, amputations, multiple sclerosis, and other neurological conditions. I am proud and delighted that Portland will host this year's games. As we heard, this is part of our recovery and part of celebrating Portland's great sports traditions. And I encourage all Portlanders to attend the National Veterans Wheelchair Games at the Oregon Convention Center and other local venues. Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. I'll turn the floor back to you.
Thank you, Commissioner Mapps. Commissioner Gonzalez.
First and foremost, I'd like to thank all the participants and organizers of this event for their service to their country, to our service to our vets. I'm so glad Portland is hosting such an uplifting and celebratory event for our veterans. My brother was a two-tour vet in Iraq. Many of his colleagues came back hurt. Some didn't come back. So taking care of those that come home is a central part of our collective responsibility for those who didn't serve so directly. We often hear about the bond between folks in armed services is unbreakable and lasts a lifetime. It's inspiring for all of us to see our vets coming together in competitive spirit to lift each other up and enjoy each other's company and to enjoy competition. The event truly illustrates the unstoppable character of our vets and brings into focus the opportunity, respect, and visibility that all people with disabilities deserve. Many people focus on new limitations after sustaining a serious life-altering injury. Rather, this event illustrates new possibilities and just one avenue for folks to thrive and live to the fullest. With that, I wish all the participants the very best of luck this week. I hope you enjoy your time in Portland for those listening and leave with some great memories and maybe a few medals too. Thank you.
Commissioner Rubio.
Thank you, and thank you, Mayor Wheeler and presenters for being here today. I want to welcome the veterans and your families and supporters to our city for the first time in your 42-year history of games. That's really, really important to us, especially right now. And I want to lift up the significant economic impact that you're bringing to our city when an event of this size comes to Portland for a visit. It's incredibly meaningful. I was reading about your event in that it provides military veterans the opportunity to continue demonstrating your strength of character, the spirit and resolve that you all have in competing for medals and recognition. So that is very heartening and very much aligned with our values our core values as a city. And every time a city hosts these games, the institution of adaptive sports and culture of support is strengthened and has more permanency. And it also creates an important ripple effect that positively enriches all the lives of veterans living with disabilities. So thank you for lifting this up. Thank you for allowing us to host you and engage with you, and have a wonderful time.
Thank you. Commissioner Ryan.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Thanks for bringing this forward. It's good to see all of you. It's not lost on me that you do this over the 4th of July holiday, and what an awesome opportunity for our city to be around this big event. Thank you on behalf of the, 411 participants who are coming. Thank you for organizing. I'm sure you're in touch with some of the local folks like Adaptive Sports Northwest. They really want to be a part of this, I know. And like Commissioner Gonzalez said, I have 5 older brothers who are veterans, and a couple of them definitely had severe mental health issues that were triggered by, and they hated this holiday. I'm sure that it's not just dogs, right? It's a tough holiday for a lot of vets. And so thanks for being here. Like Commissioner Rubio mentioned, some little concrete data that we got, like you contracted 4,667 total room nights, 650 on peak nights. And this is an estimated economic impact of $2.3 million. So as we know, we're struggling to get the heart of our city downtown back, and so it's really an honor. May you be safe, may you have a joyful time, and may we all, our compassion be moved and lifted by your presence. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Commissioner Ryan. Thanks, colleagues. First, I'd like to thank the Department of Veterans Affairs and Paralyzed Veterans of America for choosing Portland to host the 42nd Annual National Veterans Wheelchair Games. It means a lot to us that you would select Portland as a place to do this, and we think you're going to have a fantastic time, and it looks like the weather is just going to continue to be outstanding here in the great city of Portland. Obviously, as my colleagues have said, this is a really inspirational event, and it celebrates what I think is really the indomitable spirit of the heroic men and women who have served in the U.S. Armed Forces. In behalf of all of us here in the city of Portland, we want to welcome the athletes, the coaches, the spectators, the volunteers, the caregivers, the friends, and the fans who I know are going to turn out in large numbers to witness this great event. I hope that you find Portland to be welcoming and you find it to be enjoyable. I'm told that over 500 veterans will participate in this year in venues like the Oregon Convention Center, OMSI, and the Portland International Raceway, as you mentioned. And I wish you all the best of luck in your competitions. I know this is going to be an exciting week and full of memories. And so now it is my honor to read the proclamation on behalf of the City Council. I want to thank all of you for helping to draft this proclamation on behalf of the council and by extension the entire city of Portland to you. Whereas the National Veterans Wheelchair Games is the world's largest annual wheelchair sports and rehabilitation event solely for military veterans. And whereas the event demonstrates the unstoppable character of veterans and seeks to foster wider respect and opportunities for all people with disabilities. And whereas the National Veterans Wheelchair Games is open to all U.S. veterans with spinal cord injuries, amputations, multiple sclerosis, or other central neurological conditions who require a wheelchair for athletic competition. And whereas in 1981, the Department of Veteran Affairs launched the Wheelchair Games with 7 events and 77 athletes. Paralyzed Veterans of America joined the VA in 1985, expanding the event's mission and reach. Today, hundreds of veterans and veteran athletes compete in nearly 24 events. And whereas the Wheelchair Games has flourished and helped veterans become more active in their lives and communities, and in some cases, reach higher levels of national and international competition. And whereas over the past 42 years, thousands of veterans with disabilities have gained the skills, confidence, and experience to take on the challenges in the spirit of opportunity rather than limitation. Now, therefore, I, Ted Wheeler, the mayor of the city of Portland, Oregon, the city of roses, do hereby proclaim July 4th through 9th, 2023 to be National Veterans Wheelchair Games Week in Portland and encourage all community members to attend the National Veterans Wheelchair Games as a spectator at the Oregon Convention Center to celebrate our nation's veterans as they compete for bronze, silver, and gold medals. Best of luck to all of you. And don't forget to have a lot of fun. We
Mr.
appreciate
Mayor?
you. Yes, Commissioner Maps.
Mr. Mayor, just a quick point of order. I see a couple of folks who appear to be part of this proclamation online. I just wanted to see if Tammy or Ann or Hack were hoping to testify today, or if they're just watching.
This is National Vice President of PVA, Hack Alberson. I'd like for our President, Charlie Brown, to address the committee.
Thanks, Hack. Hi, Charlie.
Hello, thank you, Portland Commission, and thank you for honoring us in the PVA and the National Veterans Wheelchair Games, especially the week of the 4th through the 9th, for giving this proclamation. It's an honor to be there, to come to enjoy your city. I'm sorry I can't enjoy you today, but I'm joining you online and saying thank you. Thank you to the director of the VA, and thank you to all the volunteers there. You inspire us by all the hard work and dedication you give. Tri-State Chapter, keep rocking it out there, guys. You're doing great things. Thank you, Portland. Look forward to seeing you soon.
All right, thank you, Charles. And I just want you to know you're missing a picture-perfect bluebird day here, but I looked at the weather this morning, and it looks like it's going to be this way for days and days and days, so get on out here.
Looking forward to seeing you soon, sir.
All right, thank you all. Anybody else want to chime in? All right, thank you so much. Best of luck.
Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Have a great time.
Thanks so much.
Thank you. Colleagues, we'll move next to time certain item 528.
That we were going to keep them.
What happened?
The instructions, you're like that game
Oh, they go.
528,
Oh,
please.
they were just showing it.
Approve the Mount Hood Cable Regulatory Commission FY 2023-24 fund budget.
Commissioner Rubio.
Thank you. Colleagues, today we are welcoming representatives from the Mount Hood Cable Regulatory Commission to present the Commission's fiscal year 23-24 budget for council consideration. Before I make my comments, I would like to first introduce an amendment. Due to the postponement of the item last week, I move that we add an emergency clause because it is necessary to approve the budget without delay in order to provide authority to transact the financial affairs of the commission for fiscal year 23-24. May I have a second?
I'll second. Any further discussion on the motion? Please call the roll.
Ryan.
Aye.
Gonzalez.
Aye.
Maps.
Aye.
Rubio.
Aye.
Wheeler.
Aye. Motion carries. It's amended.
Great, thank you, colleagues. The city's allocation from the general fund for MHCRC operations budget is $354,728, and the amount is included in the city's fiscal year 23-24 special appropriations. The Mount Hood Cable Regulatory Commission is exemplary of a long-standing intergovernmental partnership among East County jurisdictions, the county, and the city of Portland. And Portland's special appropriation goes to administer about $12.6 million annually in community technology-related benefits throughout the city and county derived by cable franchise agreements. We have a few people here today to present, and I'd like to hand it off to MHCRC Commissioner Julia DeGraw, one of our 3 Portland appointees to the commission.
All right. Thank you so much for that introduction. I will go ahead and dive into the presentation of the MHCRC budget presentation. So good morning, Mayor and Commissioners. My name is Julia DeGraw, and I'm one of 3 city representatives on the Mount Hood Cable Regulatory Commission. I'm here today to seek your approval for the MHCRC 23-24 fiscal year budget and to highlight for you some of the MHCRC's plans, activities for the coming year. As a reminder, the MHCRC is a regional commission representing the cities of Fairview, Gresham, Portland, Troutdale, Wood Village, and Multnomah County. The MHCRC was formed in 1992 through the Intergovernmental Agreement to provide oversight, enforcement, and public benefit responsibilities under the cable services franchises. The commission is a group of 8 volunteers appointed by the cities and the county. The city appoints 3 members, and each other jurisdictions appoint 1 member. And we are staffed through a staff services agreement with the city. Staff is currently housed within the Bureau of Planning and Sustainability. The jurisdictions currently have cable television franchise agreements with Ziply Fiber, which serves East County cities, and Comcast, which serves countywide. Over the years, the commission has monitored the changing technology and public policy landscape to support community needs for local authority over public right-of-way and compensation for its use by for-profit cable companies, a consumer watchdog to assist subscribers with billing and service issues, and local solutions for addressing local representation in media and digital equity issues. Each year, we present the commission-adopted budget to each of the jurisdictions for approval. This is an opportunity to share with you in more detail the services we provide over the past year and to answer any questions you might have. The commission voted unanimously to recommend approval of the fiscal year 23-24 budget at our meeting on May 22nd. In your meeting packet, you have the proposed budget, our annual report, goals for next year, and the Tech Smart Initiative Impact Report. I'll take the next few minutes to provide an overview of the proposed budget and some of our planned activities for the coming year. The MHCRC proposed fiscal year 2023 and 24 budget is on page 5 of the budget document.
Julia, could I do something somewhat extraordinary? And I apologize in advance. As you know, we just had a group of individuals here for a proclamation. And they very much had hoped to have a photograph with the city council, and they're willing to wait till after this item, but I know a number of them have places they need to go. Would you mind if we took a 3-minute recess so the council can go out into the hallway and take that photo, and then we'll come right back?
I'm personally fine being flexible in that way. Like I can absolutely make that work.
Thank you. I apologize. It's embarrassing. So we'll be back with you in like 3 minutes, okay?
I just got through the Oregon State Legislature, so
You can survive
don't worry
anything.
about appalling behavior.
All right, so we'll go into recess for about 3 minutes. We're in recess. Thank you. All right, Julie, sorry about that. Thank you for accommodating and helping us make that happen. Sorry to interrupt, Julia.
That's all right. I got a couple more sips of my coffee. It was all good.
Perfect.
All right, so I'll just dive back into the budget presentation for the MHCRC, which, as I said, can be found on page 5 of the budget document. Nearly all of the MHCRC's resources are funds collected from the cable companies, and the expenditures are the disbursement of those funds to the member jurisdictions, the community and media providers, Metro East and Open Signal, and the community grants recipients. Long-term trends continue to reflect a slow decline in the number of cable subscribers as more and more people receive their media content in other ways. The franchise fees collected are calculated based on the percentage of gross revenues, so drops in subscriber counts continue to be slightly offset by the annual rate increases implemented by the providers. The city is projected to collect about $5.2 million in franchise fees next year, resources that support the city's general fund. The projection is about $280,000 less than last year. Through the intergovernmental agreement, each jurisdiction agrees to fund a portion of the MHCRC's operating budget. The city's allocation to the commission's operating budget for fiscal year 23-24 is $354,728. Combined with contributions from the other jurisdictions, the total operating budget is $545,734. The proposed budget includes a slight increase in staffing this year from 4 FTE to 4.9 FTE. And we are using carryover funds from the fiscal year due to staff vacancies to support this additional FTE. Our staff are tasked with conducting cable franchise agreement compliance, fielding consumer complaints, overseeing the commission meetings and finances, and implementing public benefit programs such as the grant programs that support technology usage in schools, community nonprofits, and in our community media centers, Metro East Community Media in Gresham and Open Signal in Portland. Funding also supports limited professional services such as legal counsel, advocacy work, and participation in national organizations. In the coming year, we're kicking off a strategic planning process for the member jurisdictions to engage with us to develop a strategy for addressing these trends, evolving public policy, and community needs. We will be reaching out to each jurisdiction in the coming months to have these discussions. With the resources collected through the franchises, the Commission provides capital and operating support to Metro East Community Media and Open Signal, two vital community-based organizations that work to ensure our communities have access to the media technology training and diverse, local, engaging video content on the cable system. Next up on our agenda today is a recommendation to support a 5-year grant agreement with Open Signal to support the people time to deliver government programming such as the live coverage of today's meeting and critical media training, supporting education and workforce training with a particular focus on our BIPOC community members. The Commission is a funding partner in this work. We provide annual capital funding to ensure Open Signal has the facilities and equipment to deliver these services. And we provide capital grants to schools, libraries, public agencies, and community nonprofits to support access to technology and training that promotes civic engagement, equity, and economic opportunity. Excuse me. The Commission anticipates awarding $2 million to community technology grants this coming year. A summary of grants awarded this last year included the annual report in the annual report included in your meeting packet. The Commission wrapped funding and an evaluation of the TechSmart initiative this past year. You may recall that since 2014, we have been funding innovative classroom technology grants through strategic partnerships with each of the 6 school districts in the county. The grants were designed to use technology and innovative teaching and learning techniques to achieve better academic outcomes for students. The TechSmart initiative invested nearly $16 million since its inception, and it was cut short of its goal to invest a total of $19 million due to a federal law change under the Trump administration that took effect in 2019. The commission in participation, in partnership, the commission in partnership with an outside professional evaluation team spent the last couple of years closing out the projects and working with the districts to assess the impact and to share what we learned. The impact report was included in your packet. That concludes my presentation for today. I'm happy to answer any questions and thank the council for its ongoing support and consideration of the budget this afternoon. Before we close out, I'd like to invite Rebecca Burrell from Open Signal to share a few words.
Thank you. I will share my screen quickly for some visuals. So, hello, Mayor and Commissioners. I am Rebecca Burrell, the Director of Strategy at Open Signal. Thanks to the magic of our hybrid meeting technology, I am delighted to join you today from the Alliance for Community Media Conference in Brooklyn, New York. Open Signal is Portland's Community Media Arts Center. Of course, you all know us best as the people who broadcast City Council meetings like this one, but we also provide powerful media and technology training and content distribution for members of our community, particularly those who are least likely to see themselves reflected in the mainstream media. You will hear more from my colleagues in the next agenda item about what we've been up to lately. But for now, I want to share with you specifically why our relationship with the MHCRC is crucial to the work we provide to both the capital C, City of Portland, and also to the people who live here. In essence, this entire message is a tribute to the work that we've been able to do thanks to your support. So within the community media field nationally, Portland is known as having one of the very best cable franchises anywhere. And Open Signal is known as a leading innovator. I'm reminded of this since I'm currently at the field's national conference. Other media centers are constantly looking to us to learn how we maximize our cable franchise capital funds, how we assertively address racial equity, how we leverage our public dollars to raise private funds, how we honor the technology and artistry of media in equal measure. They look to us to learn how cable broadcast can continue to stay relevant in 2023. In fact, in the past 3 years, 2 of our team members have received national awards from the Alliance. This includes Catherine Garcia, who you will hear from in a few minutes, who received the award for cultural diversity in honor of their trauma-informed pedagogy and a demeanor that makes absolutely everyone they interact with feel welcome and feel seen. It is because of our partnership with the MHCRC and the city that we can be this kind of national leader. With the capital funding we receive from the MHCRC on a daily basis, we are able to offer the community the largest publicly accessible production studio and soundstage at 2,000 square feet. With our annual capital funding, we run 5 cable channels with all the significant hardware, software, and networking capabilities and data storage required to broadcast 24/7 to 400,000 cable customers in the area. We provide the community with field equipment to help them make high quality work and build marketable skills. With additional support from an MHCRC Community Capital Grant, we are currently in the process of making a complete upgrade to the studio, as well as our smaller 500 square foot studio, which will dramatically modernize the spaces and make them more user-friendly for producers of all skill levels. With a $136,000 community capital grant from the MHCRC and the leadership of our staff member, Ifani Bell, we were also able to launch a fellowship for Black filmmakers in 2018 and provide the program with some of the highest quality cameras available in film. Since its launch, this program has leveraged their capital funding to raise over $1 million in grants and individual donations, enough to move out to become a standalone nonprofit, a transition that the lab's team are taking on in earnest this year. We consider this a huge success. Our capital dollars also allow us to broadcast meetings such as the one we are currently part of and pivot when needed to create remote and hybrid meetings, as we've done during COVID. Our equipment enables us to cover meetings for other city bureaus and to offer affordable production services for community partners like the Urban League candidate forums, which are pictured here. And we own our own building on an increasingly valuable lot on MLK Jr. Boulevard, which is such a gift for a nonprofit. We'd like to develop this property for greater community use in the coming years, and we'd love to talk with you all about the best ways to do that soon. It takes a lot of money to make all of this work happen, and these costs continually increase along with the rise in inflation. Unfortunately, as mentioned, we are facing declining cable revenues and a new federal American Broadband Deployment Act of 2023, both of which threaten to take away our capital funding completely. This makes it more important than ever that the city continue to strengthen its support for our work. Of course, our annual operations grant comes from the city's general fund, which doesn't stretch as far as it used to. This chart shows a historic deficit to our operating funds during a period of 11 years in which we did not receive any overall increases in funding despite rising inflation. So you can simply compare the 0708 number and the 1718 number and see the lack of change. A pay equity study we took on 2 years ago revealed that we had been paying many of our staff a less than living wage. With our increased commitment to equity, we ethically cannot anymore pay any of our staff below the poverty line. It is clear that in order to take on the work we need to do to complete our operating grant agreement with the city and to do it well, even with our significant private fundraising efforts, which we take on in earnest, we still have a funding gap. So all of this means that the city and the MHCRC's commitment to citizens media has never been more important. OpenSignal exists because of our partnership with BPS and the MHCRC. We have the absolute most incredible partners and the staff and commissioners who stand with us as we reimagine what community media can be. Staff Rebecca Gibbons and Raina DeBay, cable commissioners Julia DeGraw, who is our liaison to our board, Chair Carol Studemund, and the amazing people in Commissioner Rubio's office. They stand with us as we take risks, as we constantly reassess how to steward our funds for the greatest community good, as we figure out how to assertively focus on partnering with communities least likely to have access to media tools or to see their stories reflected in the mainstream media, as we look at how community media can be a vibrant tool for creativity and a powerful mechanism in the quest for racial equity. None of this success could be possible without the strength of our franchise and the commitment of the city. So with your continued support, together we can keep Portland a national leader in the community media space. Thank you for making us who we are. And thanks for your time today.
Thank you.
And I will stop sharing if I can figure out how to do it. There we go. Thank you so much.
Very good. Does that complete the presentation?
Is that all, Julia? Is the guest speakers?
That's what we have.
Okay.
All right, very good. Do we have any public testimony on this item?
No one signed up.
All right, any further discussion, questions, thoughts? Commissioner Ryan.
Thank you, Julie and Rebecca. Great report, and congratulations on your awards. A couple questions. I heard you talk about your strategic plan. I was listening for a couple things, and maybe you said them and I just missed it. But in your strategic planning, are you talking about the charter reform implementation that will have 4 districts? And so the way we conduct business in the public sector and the government in Portland will look different. I imagine there'll be less centralized locations and more hybrid, or if that's a bad word since this is what this is. Anyway, more satellite locations. So has that been discussed in any of your strategic planning conversations?
We're going to be doing a strategic planning process, and I'm certain that adapting to this transition is going to be a very large part of that. But we haven't really, we haven't started that strategic planning process yet. But I imagine that's going to be a major
Okay. We're talking about it a lot here, so I just had to make sure I shared that while we're in this moment. And the other one is so many people are cutting their cords, right? And obviously that's something we have to adapt to. And with so many cutting their cords, and if this trend continues, how will the public continue to reach, have access to this public access station? And maybe you've adapted, and this is probably part of your strategic planning conversations as well.
I feel like that's kind of a combo question. Do you want to take that, Rebecca, because it's more about OpenSignal, or I guess I want to make sure I'm clear if that was an MHCRC or an OpenSignal question.
Rebecca Burrell, would you like me to take that?
Sure.
Sure. Good morning, Council and Mayor. I'm Rebecca Gibbons. I am the Strategic Initiatives Manager with the Bureau of Planning and Sustainability and staff to the commission. And yes, the strategic planning is going to take into consideration the fact that cable subscribership is declining. Unfortunately, federal law has not kept up with the transition of technology to a broadband-based service. And we're seeing quite a bit of federal activity going on at both the FCC and in the legislature right now about franchising ability, rights of way management. So we're going to having a much more robust conversation with each of the jurisdictions about how we want to approach it as a community, how we will approach both the loss of revenue, but also consumer protection for access to broadband and our digital equity elements as well.
Okay, sounds like it's an active conversation as it should be. Thanks.
You pretty much outlined the agenda for the strategic planning process in your questioning.
That's affirming. Thanks.
Keelan, was there somebody signed up to testify?
No, no one.
Okay, very good. Thanks, colleagues. Please call the roll.
Ryan,
Aye, thanks. Thanks for answering the questions. Thanks for the dialogue. I vote aye.
Gonzalez,
Aye.
Maps,
I want to thank Julia and the Rebeccas for the presentation today. I vote aye.
Rubio,
I'd like to acknowledge all the presenters and staff working on this, including Julia, Rebecca Burrell, and Rebecca Gibbons. I'd also like to thank our current commissioners for their service on the commission. I vote aye.
Wheeler,
Great work. Thank you. Happy to vote aye. The ordinance is adopted as amended. And next we'll go to 520, item number 529, please.
authorize 5-year grant agreement with Portland Community Media, DBA Open Signal, for public, educational, and governmental access resources and to provide culturally responsive, relevant, and affordable media training for and with media makers and nonprofit organizations on a citywide basis, not to exceed $6,239,438 in operational support.
Thank you. Commissioner Rubio.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm happy to introduce our next item, approval of the operations contract for Portland Community Media, otherwise known as Open Signal. First, I need to introduce an amendment to this item to make it add as an emergency clause due to last week's postponement. I move that we add the emergency clause because the public interest would be harmed by delaying in authorizing the grant agreement, resulting in a lapse of provision of services. May I have a second?
Second.
Commissioner Ryan. Seconds. And did you also have a question, Commissioner Ryan? No, I just forgot. Oh, okay, very good. The motion is on the table. Any further discussion? Seeing none, please call the roll.
Ryan,
Aye.
Gonzalez,
Aye.
Apps,
Aye.
Rubio,
Aye.
Wheeler.
Aye. The motion carries. The emergency clause is added.
Great, thank you, colleagues. Open Signal and city staff have an amazing presentation for us to highlight some of the deeply impactful work they do in the community. Open Signal has been the city's longstanding partner for broadcasting government programming, and I'm excited to continue that partnership for the next 5 years. This grant amount is included as part of the proposed budget through the Bureau of Planning and Sustainability. I'd also like to note that this contract does not include any additional funding needed for technology upgrades related to the change in form of government and new facilities. Before the presentation begins, I want to express gratitude to Open Signal production staff for pivoting their service model during the past few years, folding in initially virtual city council meetings and later hybrid meetings for the broadcasting out to the community. I also want to thank the Mount Hood Cable Regulatory Commission and staff for developing this agreement and being our funding partner in supporting this work. I will once again turn it over to MHCRC Commissioner Julia DeGraw to share more on this item.
Hello, everyone, commissioners and Mayor Wheeler. It's Julia DeGraw again, MHCRC Commissioner. And before I dive into the more official statement, I just want to say I've had a privilege as an MHCRC member to attend the Open Signal board meetings. And I just have to say it's one of the most enjoyable experiences I get to look forward to. It's an incredible group of people that just make you feel good and welcomed, and they're passionate about what they do. And it's kind of a treat to just exist in a space that's so intentional, equitable, and inclusive, and just committed to those values. I really genuinely look forward to those meetings every time I get to attend. So anyway, I just wanted to put that out there before I dive into my more official introduction. I'm pleased to be here once again to lift up the work of OpenSignal. As a member of MHCRC, I serve as the appointed liaison between the Commission and OpenSignal, and I attend board meetings as a non-voting member, and as such have the privilege to become well aware of the impact and the work that they're doing for Portland. As one of the designated access providers under the Cable Franchise Agreement, OpenSignal is responsible for broadcasting government programming to the community, as well as providing relevant, affordable, and culturally responsive media training for media makers of color and nonprofit organizations. The Commission and its staff have engaged in robust negotiations with the OpenSignal staff and stakeholders both within and without the city to reach consensus on the operations contract presented today for your approval. The MHCRC reviewed the contract and its public meetings on May 22nd and is on its public meeting, on May 22nd, and is recommending the Portland City Council approve it as presented. The MHCRC is a funding partner in this work as we provide capital funding support to OpenSignal under the cable franchises. Now I would like to turn it over to Catherine Garcia, Director of Community Media at OpenSignal, to walk us through the presentation highlighting the role of this essential nonprofit organization.
Thank you, Julia. Good afternoon, Mayor Wheeler and Council. My name is Catherine Garcia, aka Cat Meow in the Streets, and I'm the Director of Community Media at OpenSignal. Thank you for having us today and for your more than 40 years of support for community-driven media. OpenSignal is located on northeast Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard and has been there for over 30 years. We're the only organization in the city of Portland that provides free access to state-of-the-art media production studios, equipment and training, artist residencies, and vibrant events. We provide Portland a cable broadcast airing local and independently produced content in 7 languages, reaching over 400,000 homes in the metro area. Our facilities include 2 media production studios, editing rooms, and a media equipment library stocked with professional cameras, lighting, hard drives, and laptops. We teach camera skills, studio operation, editing, and animation, both on-site at our space and in partnership with local schools and nonprofits. By centering media makers of color in our work, we ensure that our cable channels are fully representative of all Portlanders. We know that by altering who gets to create and share media, we can collectively strengthen our social fabric, highlight social issues, and shift power to create lasting change. As we emerge from the hardest days of the COVID-19 pandemic, our building is once again fully engaged. We continue to move away from services open on a first-come, first-served basis, knowing that the so-called free and open access privileges those with time and transportation. We focus on application-based services that center those who are least likely to see themselves in the mainstream media. Our successful Train the Trainer program was a COVID-era pilot that endured. It is our training for mission-aligned nonprofits. This provided 100 hours of media education to organizations like PDX Women in Tech and Street Roots. This program includes equipment instruction and certifies the nonprofits to check out gear from OpenSignal on an ongoing basis. It also provides trauma-informed media literacy training designed to prepare nonprofits to teach media skills internally to their own communities at their own centers. And this allows us to exponentially support the city's media education needs. Across all of our programs, more than 50% of the people trained who completed the survey identified as BIPOC, and 27% speak a language other than English in the home. This work is crucial to the health and future of this city. Your continued commitment to OpenSignal ensures that we can continue. Thank you for your time, your support, and we look forward to continuing this work in the coming year.
Good morning. My name is Daniela Serna, and I'm the Communications Manager at OpenSignal. Thank you for your time today and for supporting OpenSignal as an essential broadcast, civic engagement, and education service to Portland. Our new production cohort is an opportunity for people to get customized training, long-term equipment checkouts, and weekly project support from our staff. We meet students where they are and provide the quality of support needed to help people complete a project for broadcast. Led by staff member Melissa Salazar, Last year, this program provided nearly 1,000 hours of one-on-one education for media makers. Our cohort members created television programs designed for children of color. They documented Indigenous lives and community work. They created a comedy variety show for women and a Spanish language outdoor adventure program, just to name a few. Last year, we also screened a series of shorts directed by youth in partnership with local nonprofit Outside the Frame, which works with homeless and marginalized young people at the incredible OMSI Planetarium. This was the triumphant result of a 35-hour training we led to help the youth produce 360-degree films. Open Signal's government channel broadcast provides essential civic communication and engagement to the city. Last year, our CityNet channel aired 1,580 hours of government programming, including 175 city council meetings spanning 747 hours. The channel also features content from TriMet, Metro Council, the Portland Committee for Community Engaged Policing, and other government entities. These broadcasts bridge the digital divide as they are accessible to constituents who face barriers to accessing information on the internet. We program 4 more cable channels 24/7 with local and independently produced content that can't be found anywhere else on local airwaves. Absolutely anyone in Portland, Oregon may submit content to air, and all of this work also streams online at watch.opensignalpdx.org. Last year, we premiered 6,925 hours of brand new content, 2,710 of which were created at our facilities. In the process of creating this work, our producers become local leaders and stewards of the stories and histories of their communities. You can see here an image from Blind Kitchen, which is a cooking show for blind and vision impaired people produced with help from Open Signal staff. In order to ensure that these channels represent all Portlanders, we must provide significant equipment and training support to individuals and local organizations. We are so happy to have with us today a series of community members who can share with you the ways that these resources have enhanced their lives and work and strengthened communities, beginning with James Apple.
Welcome. Thanks for being here.
Good morning, Mayor and Commissioners. My name is James Apple, and I work for the Bureau of Technology Services. About 4 years ago, myself, Open Signal, and others started conversations and estimate exercises for audiovisual improvements in council chambers. Just about the time we were feeling that we had good direction on how we're going to address the needed upgrades, COVID hit and everything shut down. We all know that story very well. As we adjusted to life and work, it became apparent that we needed an avenue to bring Portland citizens into the discussion, since in-person was not an option. I knew of Open Signal from my years of supporting the city as a private contractor, but never had the opportunity or pleasure to really get to know the support crew. Meetings were scheduled and conversations began. I didn't realize at the time, but this was the beginning of a relationship. The message was clear from leadership: create a hybrid environment that allows remote and in-person participation for all that wish to have a voice in council proceedings, and that can be effectively distributed for public consumption via cable TV and YouTube. The Open Signal production crew and BTS collaborated with council end users to define a starting point for equipment and infrastructure improvements. Work began, testing ensued, and a hybrid meeting environment was delivered. During this time, I had the pleasure of getting to know the Open Signal production staff. Friendly, professional, accountable, and even more importantly, adaptable are just a few words that come to mind when I speak of this team. With charter reform efforts steadily moving forward, the aforementioned attributes are clearly indicative to the needs of the city and my team. Please accept my testimony as proof of Open Signal's unwavering dedication to the City of Portland and City Council proceedings. They truly are a partner. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. By the way, thanks for your great work. I know just setting up this room and making virtual and then hybrid work was a ton of work. So, but it's worked really well. And I think the net result of it, by the way, is more people get to participate in council sessions.
Absolutely.
Than what was, you had to be here at a particular time in a particular place. So thanks for your hard work.
No problem. Thank you.
You bet.
Next up, Roman Dominguez.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello, my name is Roman Dominguez. I am 23 years old and a proud son of two hardworking immigrant parents. I have the privilege of living and being raised in North Portland. To many, North Portland is the ghetto and an active war zone, but to me, it is home and my safe place, where I can be myself, and many forget how big of a community there is in North Portland and St. John's. Thankfully, my show, True North, that will air later this year on Open Signals channels, we will change those negative narratives. True North is a reality show based in North Portland about 6 individuals talking about their community. They will discuss social issues they face as a group and individually. They will showcase the importance of friendship while having fun. The goal of our show is to have the viewers at home feel like they are connected to us, feel the community me and my friends have built amongst ourselves, as if it was their own. I am grateful that Open Signal has allowed me to showcase my talent as a producer and a creator. Throughout my journey of filming and producing True North, I felt supported by my community and Open Signal. I don't think True North would have made it out the notepad if they didn't believe in me. But then again, I also couldn't have done it without the love and support and commitment of my 5 friends that are on the show with me. So shout out to them. I am appreciative that Open Signal has given me the opportunity to showcase my North Portland that I live in every day, and not the North Portland that is made out to be dangerous by the media and the news. Most times, people of color on television are made out to be aggressive, uneducated, and hard to work with. But on True North, we are here to change those negative narratives. Last summer, I was a part of the cohort program at Open Signal. While being there, it reminded me a lot of North Portland. They allowed a safe place for people to be themselves without any judgment. You feel supported and heard at all times, and sometimes you barely know who the people are there, but you get a sense of community. People there are always supporting and uplifting one another with their projects, so let's continue to support one another because life is a little bit easier when you have community around you. I thank Open Signal because they believed in me when sometimes I didn't believe in myself. So shout out North Portland, shout out Open Signal, shout out True North coming to your television screen this year. Once again, I am Roman Dominguez, and thank you for your time.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, Commissioner Ryan.
Hi, Roman. I'm
Hi.
curious, I love the term True North as somebody who went to Roosevelt High School, and when I just have the
I graduated from Roosevelt High School.
Nice to meet you, fellow writer. Hey, so when we were making the Aquatics Park decision in North Portland, I was explaining one of my reasons was True North. But what's your definition of True North? Like, what's the? I think it's north and west of Portsmouth. Is that fair?
Yeah, definitely. I think True North also means like staying true to yourself and staying true to what.
Well, thanks for going beyond the geography. I love that. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, there's so few assets when we get to that part of North Portland. So
Yeah.
I
it's so
appreciate
different,
that.
Unique.
When does it start?
When does what start?
Or is it already on this program? I just
it
didn't know about
will hopefully come out this September.
This September. All right. Look forward to seeing it. Thanks.
Yeah. Thank you, guys.
Thanks.
Thank you, Roman. Is Bronwyn Carver there? If Bronwyn is not there, then I will introduce Jamie Plakos.
Hello.
Hi.
I'm Jamie Plakos, Director of Operations at Open Signal.
I'm here to share with you how our programs and facilities also benefit the city's effort to support the TV and film industry in Portland and workforce development. Providing low barrier access to professional quality media resources strengthens the local TV and film workforce and helps people secure employment in the city. We actively facilitate a network of media professionals that support each other to advance their careers. This year, Open Signal Labs, with very significant additional support from private foundations and donors, completed production on a feature-length film of an inspiring and true story about Black Portland in the 1990s. The production included training with 10 youth from outside the frame who supported every department in the film. The Labs team anticipates premiering this film on the festival circuit in early 2024. By supporting Open Signal, you're supporting filmmakers like Insai Matingo, a local musician who has always wanted to work in film, but didn't have access to the skills and equipment until they found Open Signal. They worked through our cohort program to create a docuseries called Speak Your Truth that features a diverse cast of local musicians, artists, educators, and community leaders speaking openly and frankly about their experiences of race and racism in Portland. Now Inside is at Open Signal every week working on their project on top of their paid video work. From stories like Inside's, we can see that works created by our community is an essential complement to the government programming that we broadcast, and simply opening up the cable channels for the public to submit content isn't enough. If we are to ensure that the airways are filled with voices as diverse as our city, we must continue to proactively provide training and equipment to producers like Insai and Roman and Brodwin, and we need funding to do that. The new 5-year grant agreement that you will be voting to approve today includes an increased commitment to working with media makers of color to ensure that we are using our power to advance racial equity. As media makers, we are storytellers, and we are also culture makers. Shifting whose stories are seen and heard is making long-term social change. So together with our producers and partners, we are creating and sharing new stories, inspiring conversations about topics that matter most. Together, we are building careers, changing the direction of our lives. We are supporting the houseless. We are building community. Thank you for your time and your enthusiastic support. I will now open the floor for questions.
Very good. Colleagues, any questions at this point? Do we have public testimony?
No one signed up.
All right, very good. Excellent presentation. I appreciate hearing the different perspectives. With that, we will call the roll.
Ryan.
Yes, great work, Open Signal team, including our partners at BPS. I especially want to acknowledge you, James. I was like, oh, that's James, all cleaned up. You're constantly troubleshooting, and you always do it so calmly. So thank you so much for your service. And I'm real excited about that True North program. Roman, I look forward to tuning in September. I also am looking forward to hearing how you're going to continue to adapt to the district form of government and how you'll adapt to the market trends so public access can continue to provide access to all the public. I vote aye.
Gonzalez.
Aye.
Maps.
I want to thank our guests for today's excellent presentation. I vote aye.
Rubio.
I want to thank you all for that informative and impactful presentation. And just to summarize, funding this agreement is including in the proposed 23-24 budget through the Bureau of Planning and Sustainability, and is focused intentionally on engaging and supporting people and community organizations through workforce development training and community capacity to use technology in the digital economy. And I want to take a moment to thank the exceptional staff at Open Signal for their innovation and their dedication to this access. This work ensures that we are able to broadcast city council meetings and budget forums to increase transparency and public engagement in local government. And I also want to thank Kareem Hassanain and Jessica Lagunas for their service on the Open Signal board as the city's appointees and for their contribution of hundreds of hours annually for this community service. So very happy to vote aye.
Wheeler.
Yeah, me too. To everything Commissioner Rubio just said, not only does Open Signal provide just exceptional programs to the community and terrific access to technologies that people might otherwise not have access to. But this is also a difficult time to be part of Open Signal. The technology has changed so rapidly just in the last few years, and as I indicated, we've rewired everything here at City Hall in terms of how we conduct our meetings and how information gets to the public, and we have people here in person, we have people online, and our BTS staff working with Open Signal, I think, have done a really, really terrific job to make this chamber and our deliberations, such as they are, accessible to the public. And just on sort of a personal note, I have a lot of respect for the people who sit in the booth upstairs. They're with us from the very beginning to the very end of these meetings. And oftentimes there are technological issues that have to be sorted out, with which one would expect given the complexity of our systems. And they work really well with our council clerk team. And you know, I have my office up on the 3rd floor right next to where the Open Signal booth opens to the hallway. And I sort of compare notes as I see the Open Signal people come out of the booth at the same time I'm going upstairs. It's a real toss-up as to who looks more exhausted, me or them. And so I just really want to appreciate the good work that they're doing. And I'm happy to support this and continue what I think has been a very positive and outstanding relationship. I vote aye, and the ordinance is approved as amended. Thank you all. Next item, 552, a second reading.
Amend Joint Office of Homeless Services intergovernmental agreement with Multnomah County to implement county revisions.
Colleagues, this is a second reading. We've had a presentation, fairly extensive discussion, public testimony on this item. Is there anything else before we call the roll? Seeing none, please call the roll.
Ryan?
Yes, we're on 552.
552.
Sorry, I tuned away for a sec. Thank you, Mayor, especially in your staff. I don't see them in here, but I want to acknowledge Skylar, Sarah, and Bobby in particular. And to my Chief of Staff, Kelly Torres, who spent many hours on the phone with Chair Vega Peterson's Chief of Staff, Chris Fick. So thanks to you too, Chris. I'm really pleased that the county unanimously voted for this agreement. After sitting in these negotiations going back 2 years, I can say we have come a long, long way, and I can live with and support this legally scrubbed version. Why I can live with this after the surprise to the edits that I saw, I did have conversations with Chair Vega Peterson and with Joint Office Director Danfield. The intent of the original language in all 3 amendments, I was assured, remains the action plan, and that is the path for our next touch point, which will be in December. As such, allow me to read the original 3 amendments that we approved in our extension that went to the county before it was scrubbed. 1, produce quantitative community-wide indicators so we can align our shared goals and monitor progress towards agreed upon goals. 2, once community-wide indicators are determined and in order to reach population results, the city is requiring the Joint Office of Homeless Services to establish sub-indicators as provisions in service provider contracts. And 3, because one size does not fit all, that was me editorializing, now beginning to read the amendment, because different populations deserve different strategies, the Joint Office for Homeless Services will coordinate with the city and the community solutions to determine effective and efficient intervention strategies targeting specific segments of our city and county's homeless population, including but not limited to individuals who are chronically homeless, definition is over 2 years, of essential frontline workers experiencing housing hardship, and even individuals living on fixed incomes, inclusive of people with disabilities, elders, and individuals with dual diagnosis for mental health conditions. Again, in my conversations with the chair, we agreed that the voters and taxpayers need to know where we are and where we are going. As such, I'm thrilled that we will finally be committed to providing data sets for our community that our voters and taxpayers have been seeking. Providers will now align their work to these metrics. Each provider plays a part, and I want to acknowledge the work of those on the front line. Thank you so much. And now we have accountability and transparency in the system so we can all improve together. Again, I'm content with this amended IGA. with this much healthier partnership with the county, who has now seen us as an authentic partner, not simply a donation and a rubber stamp. Let's keep building, innovating, and improving as we lead during this complex humanitarian crisis. I want to pause. I've become a big fan of the Dragon Boat races for many reasons, but one in particular is the beauty of seeing a team in rhythm, rowing in the same direction. Thank goodness the general narrative is moving from housing first to services first, a direction voters and taxpayers desire. Here's to hope we see a lot of progress on this work when we gather in December. I vote aye.
Gonzalez.
The city remains willing and eager to partner in confronting homelessness and stepping up collective efforts to address unsanctioned camping on our streets. However, it is also city government's responsibility to make sure our dollars are spent effectively and efficiently to address the various crises we are facing. Despite the potential impact and positive impact of this partnership with the Joint Office on Homelessness, there are significant concerns that prevent me from supporting the proposed agreement as currently written. The city has spent directly a total of nearly $1.6 billion addressing homelessness since declaring an emergency, and continues to bear substantial expenses directly as a humanitarian crisis plays itself out on our streets. Despite these efforts by the city and ongoing commitments, large sums of money remain unspent at the county, while the city continues to lack meaningful say contractually and real influence over how its dollars are spent at the Joint Office during one of the most challenging periods in its history. This is a flawed contract, plain and simple, and it continues a pattern where the city capitulates at the last moment in difficult but necessary contract negotiations. We need a better contract to act as a basis for and reflect the type of productive and mutually supportive relationship we should have with our county partners. We owe the residents of Portland more transparency and accountability in how our city dollars are allocated and spent. Better contracts also help build better relationships. It is with this in mind that I vote no today.
Maps.
Colleagues, I am going to vote no on this item. Let me be clear. I believe there's a need for cooperation and coordination between the city of Portland and Multnomah County on homelessness services. I also want to say I'm hopeful about the new leadership at Multnomah County. At the same time, I strongly suspect that every member of this council and every member of the Multnomah County Board of Commissioners agrees that the contract that we are voting on today is deeply flawed. In addition, I would argue that the failure to reduce the absolute number of people who sleep on our streets is in part a product of the flaws which are baked into the contract that we are voting on today. I also contend that when it comes to houseless policy, it is time for this council to stop doing the same thing over and over again and expect to get different and better results. In addition, I assert that it is past time that the city of Portland and Multnomah County sign a joint office contract which clearly specifies the part of the homeless crisis which are a city responsibility, the parts of this homeless crisis which are a county responsibility, and the parts of this houselessness crisis which are a shared responsibility. Finally, this contract should provide the city with some control over how the more than $40 million this council allocates to the joint office every year are spent. Now, I look forward to the day when this council is asked to vote on a joint office contract that contains these common sense safeguards. Unfortunately, the contract we're being asked to renew today does not contain these common sense practices, which is why I vote no.
Rubio.
I want to appreciate the mayor's leadership on this, including his team, Bobby and Sky, as well. I've also stated, as I stated during the original passage of this ordinance, I'm really hopeful about the leadership at the county and joint office with Chair Vega Peterson and Director Field, and about our increased partnership and coordination with them. And this means engaging with transparency, clarity, and collaboration. And as the mayor stated, it's absolutely necessary that we partner due to the scope of responsibilities each jurisdiction is charged with. It's the leadership that Portlanders have clearly told us they want to see from us. They want to see us working together. And I believe this amendment keeps us moving forward to support urgent work and as a bridge to the deeper renegotiation that is needed and is already set to happen later this year. I vote aye.
Wheeler.
I won't give my speech again. I'll spare you all. But we now have a completion date for these negotiations, and that is December. And we either will get what we need from the county or we will not. And it is my expressed hope that we will continue to collaborate and partner with the county. I will further just say we cannot solve the homeless crisis if the city and the county do not work together. We're responsible for safety and maintenance of the public right-of-ways. We're doing the cleanup work. The county has the expertise and the dollars from federal and state resources for behavioral health, for substance use disorder treatment, for basic health care, and importantly, transition into housing. Obviously, we're more potent if we work together, if our goal is ultimately to get people off the street and then help them stay off the street. I agree with my colleagues that we need more accountability with the dollars that we contribute to this venture. I think that goes without saying. But we also need to find a way to collaborate. And frankly, I think it's what the public expects us to do. Petty differences that cause us to not act in a way that's in the best interest of our community is unacceptable to the public, and frankly, it's unacceptable to me. So I'll be pushing hard between now and December to make sure that we have a contract all of us can agree is the right one come December. And I am willing to give Chair Vega Peterson that extra space, to give her time to get her feet under her, Director Field to get his feet under him, and he has, from my perspective, said all the right things in terms of what it is we need in terms of a collaboration to make this program work. And I'm willing to wait a few more months to see that happen. We've come this far. I've got nothing to lose by waiting till December from my perspective. So I vote aye, the ordinance is adopted. Thank you. Next item. If I can find my place here, 553, please.
Appoint Yume Delegato to the Police Accountability Commission.
Great. Joining us today is Samir Kanal of the Community Safety Division to introduce this item. Welcome.
Thank you and good morning.
Morning.
For the record, my name is Samir Kanal. I am the Advisory Boards and Commissions Manager for the Community Safety Division, which administratively houses the Police Accountability Commission. The Police Accountability Commission began its work in December 2021 and is scheduled to conclude its work on August 31st, 2023. Having 20 active members for the remaining time of the Commission's work will help the Commission achieve its goals on time without placing too large a burden on any individual member or members. The Commission has created a preliminary draft of the new system and will eventually recommend to Council and is working hard to finalize the transition plan and other details. Starting in July, it'll shift to converting existing agreements into proposed legal text, ensuring legal compliance, and revising previous ideas based on community, council, and other input into the process. More information on the content of the PAC's work will be presented in a quarterly report in 4 to 5 weeks. Today's item focuses on filling one vacancy on the PAC. The appointment process was that there were well over 100 members of the community who applied for the commission in the original solicitation, and this pool has been used for all previous appointments and used again for filling this vacancy. Life circumstances change. Sometimes a volunteer must resign from a volunteer commitment on a city advisory board, and unfortunately a volunteer had to resign from the PAC a couple months ago. Community Safety Division staff reviewed the applications to ensure eligibility and that the council would have a pool of options who are eligible for the commission and fit the categories to ensure representation. Council offices collaborated to support the appointment today, which continues the collaboration of all 5 council offices on this commission and its work. This new appointee will represent the members of Over Police Communities category on the commission. And at this time, I'll pass it over to the appointee, Yume Delegato, to introduce himself, and then we'll have a short closing comment after the introduction.
Thank you, Samir. I lost my voice over the weekend, so I apologize if I'm a little hoarse here. My name is Yume Delegato. I grew up in Portland. I continue to work and play within the city, and for many years have been involved in a variety of nonprofit work throughout the city of Portland, both with faith-based organizations and most recently as the artistic director of PDX Pop Now, which is a local music festival. For the past 2 years, I have served on the Citizen Review Committee. Most recently, as vice chair, I was reelected to a second term in that capacity this spring. During that work, I have learned quite a bit about the operations of the Bureau, the operations of IPR, and the necessary work that needs to take place to continue police accountability and transparency in the city of Portland. My reason for wanting to be on the Police Accountability Commission is that I want to help them finish strong. I initially applied for this before I was on the CRC, so times have changed. But there is a lot that is left to be done. There's a lot of work that is left to be done to get this process over the finish line. I share something in common with council in that the 5 of you are being asked to implement a plan that you didn't design, right? I'm sure there are things that you have questions about. I'm sure there are things that perhaps you would do differently. And I'm sure I feel the same way about some components of this new system. That being said, I have faith and trust in the work, the hard work that this Accountability Commission has done for the past 2 years. And it is my intent to uplift and support their work and to help them get it across the goal line, get it through this difficult process of code implementation. And so I hope that if you vote for the item before you today, in so doing, you are also affirming your commitment to helping us get across the finish line, because we will not be able to do it without council's assistance. Thank you.
Thank you. So just in brief, and there are a couple slides for any member of the public who's watching this. The Police Accountability Commission wants to hear from you. There are multiple ways to get involved in the PAC's work, and I wanted to take 30 seconds or so to quickly mention 2 of those. Next slide, please. First, if you are able to join a meeting or community engagement event of the PAC, you can go to the website, portland.gov/police-accountability, and choose events. Each event page has a Zoom link for the event, and that includes both public meetings of the commission subcommittees and community listening sessions, Q&As, and info sessions. The PAC, next slide, please. The PAC meets most Mondays and Thursdays. The next community information session and Q&A is in the upper right box, July 11th, which is a Thursday. And then secondly, and one more slide, please. If you're unable to join a meeting or would simply prefer to write down your thoughts, you can go to the same website and go to Get Involved to find ways to communicate to the PAC online through a web form, through postal mail, through phone or voicemail as well, and ensure that your thoughts are part of the process. This concludes the presentation. Thank you so much.
Very good. Thank you. Keelan, do we have any public testimony on this item?
No one signed up.
Very good. Colleagues, any further thoughts before?
I'm sorry. My mistake. Yes, we do have one person signed
Oh, great. All right.
up. Mark Porras.
Mark, go ahead.
Yeah, good morning. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Great. Good morning, Mayor and Commissioners. For the record, my name is Mark Porras. I use he, him pronouns, and I'm with the group Portland Cop Watch. We have no objection to the addition of Yume Delegato to the Police Accountability Commission. We appreciate Mr. Delegato's intimate knowledge of the existing system from his work on the Citizen Review Committee and his regular appearances as an interested community member at Police Accountability Commission meetings. He's well suited to step into this role at this crucial time as the Police Accountability Commission finishes up its work over these coming few months. According to the 2023 Q1 Police Accountability Commission report to council that you received last month, this 20th seat has been empty since early March. As such, the city's promise to fill empty seats to be sure the commission could meet its quorum has not been fulfilled. We continue to urge council for a resolution to allow all city commissions to set their quorums to a majority of seated and active members. So while the Police Accountability Commission's work wraps up in 2 months, unless you extend their deadline to October 29th as they requested, other bodies such as PSEP and the Oversight Board being designed by the PAC should be able to use this sliding scale quorum model. We've heard and we understand your concern that this quorum change might disincentivize the city from quickly filling positions. We want to remind you of the letter sent to you by the members of the Police Accountability Commission last year, in which they also recommended adding a required minimum number of members, along with the maximum group size. This would allow these volunteers' work to continue in the face of inevitable resignations and the amount of time it takes the city to replenish the group. So in this spirit of engagement, is there anyone on council willing to champion the effort to fix the quorum issue? Thanks.
Thank you. Any further public testimony?
That's all.
Any further discussion on this item? With that, please, this is a resolution. Please call the roll.
Ryan,
Yes, well, thank you, Yume, for stepping up and also for your work with PDX Pop Youth Advocacy in the Arts. So I really appreciate that. It's a great lens to bring into this work. I vote aye.
Gonzalez,
I vote aye.
Maps,
I want to thank our guests for agreeing to serve on this important committee. I vote aye.
Rubio,
Amy, I want to thank you for stepping into this role. I think you're going to be a really important addition to the work that's happening as we bring it across the finish line. Happy to vote aye.
Wheeler,
I want to thank you, Samir, for your presentation, and I also want to thank the Accountability Commission for their work. They're in their home stretch. Under ordinary circumstances, the appointment of a new member at this stage would be a tall order with a steep learning curve. But fortunately for all of us, Yume Delgado has stepped forward. And I just want to express, as you've heard other people say today, Yume has been serving in the community in many ways for years now, including as a member of the Citizen Review Committee. His significant experience with the current system of discipline allows him to hit the ground running. It's also going to provide an important perspective to inform the final phases of the PAC's work. I've enjoyed working with Yume in other capacities, and I greatly appreciate your willingness to serve in this new capacity. So I'm very happy to vote aye, and the resolution is adopted. Thank you once again for your service. You're a super volunteer in the city of Portland, and you don't always take the easy jobs either. I really appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, why don't we take a 10-minute break? We're in recess. Where were we? Item 554, an emergency ordinance.
Ratify collective bargaining agreement with Portland Police Commanding Officers Association relating to terms and conditions of employment of represented employees in bargaining unit for 2023 through 2027.
Before I turn this over to our panel of very esteemed presenters, I do have a motion to amend this item. After some very helpful feedback from community members, we worked with PPCOA to modify some language in the agreement. Attached to this ordinance is Exhibit A. Based on these modifications, I move to substitute Exhibit A with the updated agreement dated yesterday that addresses the issues raised. Can I get a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? Please call the roll.
Ryan.
Aye.
Gonzalez.
Aye.
Maps.
Aye.
Rubio.
Aye.
Wheeler.
Aye, it's amended. Thank you, colleagues. Labor Relations Manager Jarrell Gaddis, Labor Relations Coordinator Sydney Kahn, Deputy City Attorney Lisa Rogers, and PPCOA President Casey Hetman are all here to present. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor, and thank you, Council. We are here today to present the PPCOA contract and to seek your approval on this contract. We've worked tirelessly over the last 6 months to come to this agreement. The PPCOA had a new president in which he was very collaborative, working to come to this agreement. And there were some challenges, but we overcame the challenges, and that's why we're here now. And I'd like President Casey Hetman to say a few words.
Yes. Good morning, Mayor and Commissioners. Thank you for the opportunity. Happy to be here today after a long, felt at times to be a very long 6 months of work, but at the end of the day, collaboration won out, and I think productive conversations happened, and we got to a place where I believe we're respecting the dedicated leaders that are within the Police Bureau as lieutenants. So thank you for your consideration and support.
Thank you.
I'd like our city attorney to say a few words as well.
Yes, and thank you. Good morning, Mayor and Council. I did want to address the reason for the amended Exhibit A. And as you, I believe, already know, Mr. Handelman raised some concerns recently that the PPCOA contract did not reference the Community Police Oversight Board in the same manner that the PPA contract does. And we felt it was better to address this issue now, and we appreciate Mr. Handelman raising that concern. We also appreciate the responsiveness of PPCOA to these concerns, and we were able to very quickly get updated language into the CBA for your consideration. And those that amended language brings the treatment of the Community Police Oversight Board in line with the treatment that you find in the PPA contract.
Thank you. Oh, Commissioner Gonzalez has a question.
Could you just clarify in terms of an accountability matrix? That's the term I'm using, and so I want to make sure it fits in this scenario. But can you just clarify what's going on at the state level with respect to accountability of police officers, how it impacts this collective bargaining agreement, and is accountability matrix the right way to frame it, or what's the technical term we're using in terms of what's coming from the state in this area?
Yeah, I might have to rely on AC Leisure for a portion of that response. Our corrective action guide refers to, the CBA refers to that material as a corrective action guide. And it is, just for your knowledge, it's the PPA and the PPCOA have the same corrective action guide. And I don't know if you can comment on the activity at the state level?
Yeah, I'm not sure what it is across other jurisdictions, but we're consistent here with the PPA and the PPCOA.
Okay, and well, part of it is just understanding our Community Oversight Board and how it will interact with mandated discipline that may come through statute or under the rules. So I just want to make sure as we're updating things that we're reflecting some of that new regime. And we're dealing with it on fire right now a little bit, but it plays out differently on police. So I just want to make sure I was following how those pieces all connect.
Yeah, and I think my understanding is that the exact structure and mechanisms that the Community Police Oversight Board will use are still being developed. And so the efforts the changed language that we added is to address broadly how how the Community Police Oversight Board might impact the members' due process rights and other rights under the Police Officers' Bill of Rights, which is a statutory provision providing certain due process to officers. So we believe that the amendments that were made do a very good job at addressing the Community Police Oversight Board, and then as specific conflicts or bargaining needs might arise, we'll address those in the future.
Got it. Thank you.
Mayor, I want to make one additional comment in regards to two individuals that are not here. We have Chief Fromm, he was on our bargaining team, and Stephanie Howard as well. They're very instrumental in getting us here now. So.
Thank you. Thank you for acknowledging that.
Yes.
Great. Does that complete your presentation?
That completes our presentation.
I love the brevity and directness of your presentation. I just want you to know that. Do we have anybody signed up to testify on this item?
We have one person signed up, Mark Porras.
Hi, Mark.
Yes, hello again, Mayor and Commissioners. For the record, my name is Mark Porras. I use he, him pronouns, and I'm with the group Portland Cop Watch. On Monday, we sent you written testimony urging you to delay approval of the PPCOA contract until inconsistencies are fixed. The collective bargaining agreement originally attached to the item and signed on May 25th contained at least 4 significant inconsistencies with the settlement agreement, the Portland Police Association contract, or the state charter. And we believe these problems would not have occurred if the city had conducted public meetings around the PPCOA contract, as was done with the PPA in its initial stages. The PPCOA contract before you today, which was signed yesterday, still contains a few issues. First, the contract refers to the corrective action guide, which is not attached to the labor agreement. Will this be word for word the same as the one adopted by the PPA, and should council be voting to ratify the contract without that document attached? And second, in Article 41, termination and duration, there is a reference to negotiations beginning no later than March 15, but no year is given, so we assume that's 2027 when the contract ends. I was just going to finish up by reiterating the importance of public input. And we appreciate the acknowledgement that Mr. Handelman's comments led to this new version of the collective bargaining agreement. Thank you.
Thanks, Mark. And that completes public testimony, is that correct?
It does.
All right, any further discussion on this item? Great, we're as brief as you were. Please call the roll.
Ryan.
Aye.
Gonzalez.
Aye.
Maps.
Aye.
Rubio.
Aye.
Wheeler.
Now I'm going to break the trend. I want to express my gratitude for all of you who worked on this agreement, and I also want to thank the community members who provided feedback that helped shape this amendment. I appreciate the information very much, and I'm glad for the quick work by the bargaining team to ensure that all of the concerns were addressed. This agreement is a solid foundation for the partnership between the city and PPCOA's newly elected union leadership. It also effectively addresses recruitment, promotion, as well as professional development needs within the rank. I vote aye, and the emergency ordinance is adopted as amendment. Thanks for your great work.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
Next item. 555.
Amend contract with SAP Public Services Incorporated to increase the not-to-exceed amount by $873,651 for cloud software and related services through June 2026.
This is an emergency ordinance. The city's current e-procurement and supplier registration system called BuySpeed is reaching the end of its useful life. Revenue and Finance and Technology Services have agreed to replace the current system with SAP's Ariba system, which offers industry-leading functionality that can be closely integrated with the city's existing financial system. So I am told. The SAP Ariba implementation will generate many benefits for the city: increased opportunities for contracting with historically disadvantaged businesses, improved pricing, and staff efficiencies are just a few that have been identified. I'll turn this over to Procurement Business Excellence Manager Paul Stewart to take us through the details of this ordinance. Good morning. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. Paul Stewart, Procurement Services. Also have Tang No here from BTS Enterprise Business Solutions Division. So what we're asking council approval for today is to amend our contract with SAP to replace this existing e-procurement system, which is aging. It's getting long in the tooth. It is about 8 years old and really only provides a base level of functionality that's needed for a city of our size and complexity. This is a key piece of procurement services strategic plan to modernize our technology, to invest in our staffing and our processes to modernize procurement in the city. So it bears pointing out that this council has previously supported procurement in that strategic plan, in making investments into the staffing side of that strategic plan. And this is just another piece there. It's going to allow us to move forward to replace this system, which really touches every bureau in the city. So I think it's important to make clear, first off, that we are not requesting any additional funding through this request of council. Procurement Services and BTS have set aside resources both for the one-time costs of implementing this new system as well as the ongoing costs to support it and administer it going forward. There are significant benefits that we will take advantage of as soon as we get this system up and running. It's no secret in the city that the existing technology frustrates our suppliers as well as our internal customers. We are looking forward to resolving a number of those issues. So some of the things we look forward to are improved pricing on contracts through reaching a broader range of suppliers through this new system and platform that'll cost savings back to the city that we expect to pay off the costs of the one-time costs of this system going forward, as well as returning some additional resources on top of that in as short as perhaps a year. We expect there to be a much better interface experience for our internal and external users and provide a lot of the functionality we just don't have right now to manage the $1 billion of procurements that flow through the city each year. And we'll also, we look forward to being able to better, access data to understand the procurement, the range of procurement activities that happen day to day throughout the city, so that we can address issues that are known around the city with regards to just the length of time it takes to get contracts executed. So I mentioned before, it's a significant project that touches every bureau in the city. And we've been engaged pretty intensively over the last several months, reaching out. We briefed the Council Advisory Board, bureau directors, the BizOps leadership team, as well as other bodies to ensure that, at the front end of the project, they understand this is coming, what it is, what it offers, what we're going to be asking of them. And going forward, we have significant resources deployed to the implementation of the implementation team, so that engagement with stakeholders internally and externally, as well as the communications, the training that's needed for this to be successful, are in place and continues throughout the project throughout the rest of this year. So, I'll pause there. Thanks for your support of procurement services, and I'll actually ask if Tang is interested in sharing anything at this point.
Thank you for the opportunity for us to be here. And as Paul mentioned, this will really increase the system procurement for the city. So appreciate being here and the opportunity. Thanks.
Yeah. Thanks, Tang. Appreciate your work. Great. Colleagues, any questions? Any public testimony?
No one signed up.
All right, very good. Well, you had me at the name of the old system being By Speed. That is certainly an awkward thing to Google these days, so I'm glad we're changing. Please call the roll.
Ryan?
Yeah, I heard no budget implications, and the system of procurement will improve its efficiency. I vote aye.
Gonzalez?
I vote aye.
Maps?
Aye.
Rubio?
Thanks for all your work on this. I vote aye.
Wheeler?
I am glad that we have technical experts like you who are in charge of procurement systems like this. I don't pretend to understand the half of it, but I'm glad that we have experts like you who do, because this is an area where if we screw it up, we're going to screw up big time, and we're going to screw up publicly. So thank you for your hard work. I vote aye, and the ordinance is adopted. Thanks.
Thank you.
Next up, 556.
Authorize intergovernmental agreement with Multnomah County not to exceed $12,500,000 for the Justice Center bus duct replacement project.
This is a non-emergency ordinance. The Justice Center was built in 1983 as a public condominium with the City of Portland and Multnomah County as the principal owners. The Justice Center provides law enforcement, court, and correction functions for both the city and the county. As such, all of the building's major systems, particularly its electrical backbone, are considered critical condominium common elements. Under the terms of the condominium agreement, the city is responsible for 57.91% of all costs expended on these common building elements. This interagency agreement will allow the city and the county to proceed with the bus duct replacement project. Maddie Sauter, manager of the Division of Asset Management, is here to field questions in case anybody has them. Are there questions for Maddie? And I see Maddie there online. Hi, Maddie.
Hello, and actually just a short correction to the record. It's actually 41.34% of the common element costs that we are responsible for.
Okay, well, that's good news. That's less than what I said, so that's good.
Question.
Yeah, Commissioner Gonzalez has a question.
Hi, Maddie. Is the county and city share based on the overlying documents for the condominium, or how is the shared, was that negotiated or is that specified elsewhere?
Yeah, it was specified in the original condo agreement, and I believe it's based on square footage. There's also a third-party owner who has a very small sliver of the agreement, but for the most part, it's predominantly county-owned, and then we're the minority owner in the building.
Got it. And what is the time frame right now for electrical replacement here? I know there's some anxiousness about the risk here we face if it fails. So I was just curious on timing.
Yeah, so you're right. The hazard was originally identified, I think, in 2019, but because of in part because of COVID and in part because of the complexity of the project, it's taken this long to fully identify, peel out funding, and scope the work. I believe the replacement, the furthest out estimates are 5 to 7 years to get the project completed. I know that the goal is to try to get it completed in a faster timeline, which is part of the reason that we were looking at cash flows and trying to make sure we had cash reserved in advance. So I believe the actual goal was around 3 years, but because of constructability issues, for example, they're decommissioning one of the entire electrical shafts to help with routing. It could be more complex. We also, this is a pretty professionally estimated cost estimate, but we are not actually going out to bid until the summer. We have to approve the IGA before we can go out to bid. So obviously, when it goes out to bid, we'll find out more because people will be doing their due diligence associated with the constructability of the work.
Got it. Thanks so much and for your work on this.
Mm-hmm.
Very good. Any other questions on this item? Do we have public testimony?
No one signed up.
I had one question. Is the county side of the Justice Center still boarded up?
I think that's actually changing on a daily basis. I just walked by it yesterday and saw some things were coming down. I know we've been waiting on glass for pieces of our portion of it. So the glass is a highly technical glass, and so it has a long supply chain. So I don't actually know, but I think everything is starting to come down slowly.
Okay, I won't amend this. It was tempting for me so to do, but thank you. I'm glad to hear there's progress. Commissioner Gonzalez.
I'm
and
good.
then, okay, Commissioner Maps.
I think this question is for Maddie. Would it be helpful to make this an emergency ordinance? And I'll tell you, this is an issue I've been looking at since I've been on council. I'm deeply concerned about some of the public health and safety issues involved in the space. It kind of keeps me up at night a little bit. It sounds like we have a really long timeline on actually getting this work done. But I'll just say too, depending on Maddie's response, and I will share with members of council, if it would help us move more quickly or keep costs down, I'd be willing to make this an emergency ordinance.
You're welcome to make things an emergency if you want. It's not necessary. The ordinance is really moving forward to authorize us to sign the IGA. There are a couple elements of the IGA we're still working on with the county to make sure that we're both in agreement on its contents. So I think we're actually more waiting on the IGA at this point than this ordinance. But if you would like to make it an emergency, we will follow suit. So.
I'll just defer to the mayor who brought this one forward. I'm not sure if it makes a substantive difference, but if the mayor who's managing this project thinks it would make a difference, I would be inclined to vote aye.
I'd be fine if you want to make that a motion.
Sure. Okay. Just to move things along, colleagues, I move to make 556 an emergency ordinance. The reason why I think this should be an emergency ordinance is the inadequate ductwork we have here, I believe, poses some fire safety issues for folks who are resident of the Justice Center. This just seems like a very bad situation to be in, and I'd like to get it resolved as soon as possible. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you.
Any further discussion on the amendment? Seeing none, call the roll, please.
Ryan.
Aye.
Gonzalez.
Important public safety investment, I vote aye.
Maps.
Aye.
Rubio.
Aye.
Wheeler.
Thanks, Commissioner Maps. I vote aye. The amendment is adopted. Any further discussion on the main motion? Seeing none, please call the roll on the main motion as amended.
Ryan.
Aye.
Gonzalez.
Aye.
Maps.
Aye.
Rubio.
Aye.
Wheeler.
Aye. The motion passes as amended. 557, please, an emergency ordinance.
Authorize contract with the lowest responsible bidder for the Cully Public Works Improvement Project.
Commissioner Maps. Commissioner Maps.
I apologize. Give me just 1 second to pull up my notes on this one. We have 557, which is a very exciting project that brings important infrastructure improvements to a long neglected neighborhood in East Portland. Colleagues, the item before us today authorizes PBOT to contract with the lowest responsible bidder for the Cully Public Works Improvement Project. Now, with this project, PBOT, BES, Water, and Urban Forestry are collaborating on a long overdue infrastructure improvements in Portland's Cully neighborhood. This initiative will improve over 3 miles of local streets by adding sidewalks, paving gravel roads, calming traffic with speed bumps, and installing 17 new sedimentation maintenance holes, 24 new sumps, 60 new inlets, and 1,830 linear feet of storm pipe. Now, these improvements will upgrade 11 street segments, which are likely to suffer from nuisance flooding when it rains. In addition, 7,250 feet of 80 to 100-year-old water mains will be replaced as part of this project. And finally, 37 street trees will be planted as part of this important initiative. Today, we have staff from PBOT, BES, and Water who will tell us more about this really exciting initiative. With that, I will turn the presentation over to staff.
Great, thanks. Welcome.
Hi, thank you. David Backus. I'm the PBOT Capital Project Manager. I'm here representing the overall Cully Public Works Improvement Project, but we have many colleagues who've worked on this from BES, Water, Forestry. We have funding from Metro. And with that, I think we can go to the next slide to kick it off. Thank you. So this is actually a package of capital projects funded by the 3 main infrastructure bureaus, BES and Water, along with PBOT, all have money in the pot on this one. They're being combined, these capital projects and elements of the projects, so we can deliver them more efficiently, better mitigate neighborhood impacts. So for the public, this means we're gonna have 1 point of contact on the project. We're gonna have 1 construction manager and 1 prime contractor on the job. It's a large area, so people in the neighborhood aren't going to be kind of running around trying to figure out who to call if something is going on. It's going to be clear for everybody involved. Next slide, please. So this is all located in Cully. Our borders are just north of Sandy. You can see Prescott kind of in the middle, Cully to the west, and 73rd to the east. So as the commissioner noted, we're paving several gravel streets, adding stormwater infrastructure. We're adding sidewalk and multi-use paths in various areas to better connect to schools and neighborhood amenities, and replacing and upgrading outdated water mains in the area also. So this is really a project where we're opening things up underground. We figured, let's take care of as much as we can within our budget to keep things as efficient as possible. Next slide, please. So this is just a couple examples of what things look like today. On the right, you can see 72nd Avenue, a wide shoulder. So in a couple of years, what you're gonna see here is, it'll look like a really wide sidewalk, 12 feet wide, and will be used for biking and walking, kids going to school and that kind of thing. This is a great shot of dry weather, I think in the summer. It does not look like this in the winter. And on the left, 64th Avenue is probably one of the best looking gravel streets because I believe this was taken right after PBOT's grade and gravel service. So it's looking really nice here, but we do have issues kind of from time to time with potholing and that kind of thing on the gravel streets. Next slide, please. Yeah, so you already heard the numbers. I'm not gonna go through all of this again. I do want to just point out a couple things. We're having a net gain of 37 street trees. We're actually planting well over 100 trees as part of the project. Some have to come out for the sidewalks, so we're trying to balance things out. And Urban Forestry is also looking at a future planting program in the neighborhood to come in and offer even more trees for residents, depending on if they are up for taking care of them for the long haul. So next slide. Just a few notes on public involvement. So to set the context for this project, one of the capital projects kicked off in April 2020. The other one kicked off in July 2021. So I think as everybody heard the mayor's comments earlier, there was quite a bit going on at the time. Transportation didn't necessarily rise to the top of people's thoughts in early 2020 and 2021. So we kind of had to retool how we did public involvement. Everything, for the most part, was either online or in person outside for a while. We developed a mapping tool so neighbors could pull up their address and see exactly where sidewalks and driveway connections and that kind of thing would lay out adjacent to their properties. Today, that map has over 17,000 views. We held an online open house for a portion of one of the projects. For a normal open house, if 50 people showed up, I'd be pretty excited. For this one, we actually had over 500 people fill out our survey, and many more read the materials that we provided. And we've been kind of bringing people along the way with email updates, letters, and we've sent personalized letters to everybody receiving a new street tree, kind of telling them about the species and what it'll look like and all of that. I have a couple of pictures here. The top one is me just laying out a tape measure in somebody's driveway, showing about the width that their new pavement will look like. We visited with somebody else with she had a huge stick in her yard because she was trying to get an idea of how big the trucks coming through to lay down asphalt would be to see if she should get out there and prune this tree that she's a big fan of that kind of overhangs the roadway. So we've been pretty high touch on the field, meeting with dozens of neighbors over the 2 years of engagement that we've been out there. Next slide, please. I think this might be the last one here. So we're looking at wrapping up design in winter 2023 with a target of bidding in early 2024. So about a year from now or a little less, we're looking at being under construction. As far as our schedule and funding, this project is looking to land right around the $20 million mark, with funding coming from local transportation infrastructure charge on the PBOT and BES sides. We have funding from Water Bureau for portions of the project, out of the MUD funding from PBOT, regional flexible fund allocation administered by Metro. I think that might cover it on this one. So yeah, that's the presentation. It's a really exciting project, working with all of the other bureaus and our partners in neighborhood, and we're excited to get this one built.
Does that end your presentation?
Yeah.
Mr. Mayor, I think this is a first reading, so I'll turn it back to you. I'm not sure if we have any testimony in this. I think that we do not.
Well, let's find out. Do we have any public testimony?
No one signed up.
You were correct, Commissioner Maps. Any further discussion? This is an emergency ordinance. This is an emergency ordinance. First, any concerns? Please call the roll.
Yeah.
No, it's a second.
Thank you,
reading.
Mr.
Emergency.
Thank you, Commissioner Ryan. You're correct. I think I said this was a first reading. It's actually an emergency ordinance.
We will deduct the usual amount from your paycheck.
Yeah.
Please
Back
call
to
the roll.
zero.
I just had
Ryan.
a question before we started. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
sorry.
Okay, Commissioner Ryan.
I do have a question. You said you're adding 37 street trees, right?
We're adding over 100 total. So we have with the removals and the additions,
So
it's
this
a
was
net
the
gain
net
of
gain.
37.
That was my
Yeah.
next question.
Mhm.
Now it makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, because usually with the construction, there's some that are taken out.
There
So the-
will be, yeah.
So the net gain is 37?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll take that. All right. Okay, sorry, Keelan. Now should I vote?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, I vote aye. Thanks.
Gonzalez.
Aye.
Maps.
Of course, I'm going to vote aye on this. I'm really proud of the collaboration that we see between our infrastructures on this project. Colleagues, I'll also share with you, I have looked at some research which indicates how infrastructure projects like this change home values. And one of the things that we discover is that, unsurprisingly, building sidewalks and paving roads and planting trees has a significant effect on the livability and home values in neighborhoods. That's one of the many different reasons why I am glad to vote aye on this item.
Rubio.
It's really glad, I'll just echo what my colleague just said. It's really glad to see the collaboration by all the bureaus on this. And also, this is a part of town that has long needed these improvements. I know very, very well. And so very excited for these to move forward. I vote aye.
Wheeler.
I vote aye. Thank you.
Thank
The
you.
ordinance is adopted. Appreciate it. Next up, 558.
Add dry wells and other underground injection controls code to regulate dry wells and other stormwater facilities.
Commissioner Rubio.
Thank you. Colleagues, today I'm requesting that council adopt an addition to Title 25 plumbing regulations. The Bureau of Development Services historically regulated dry wells and stormwater facilities through the provisions outlined in the Oregon State Plumbing Code. However, the latest version of the Oregon State Plumbing Code removed regulations for dry wells and provides language regarding dry well construction as guidelines only. This ordinance adopts adapted guideline language for dry well and other infiltration facilities for stormwater management from the Oregon State Plumbing Code permanently into the City Code, Portland City Code Title 25, adding the language under a new chapter 25.10. So with that, here to explain the changes in more detail is Matt Roselle with the Bureau of Development Services.
Good afternoon. Thank you for having me. For the record, my name is Matt Roselle. I know we're running up on lunch, so I'll keep this very brief. The last code change with the Oregon Plumbing Specialty Code, they removed the section for dry wells and kept it in there as a pointer. Through OARs, we're required to cite a specific code section. And when they removed this, we had no cite for that. And that's for inspectors if they're calling a certain code section. So this puts us back into our code where we're able to point to that section and cite that when we're doing any corrections on inspections or plan reviews. So I'm happy to answer any questions.
Colleagues, any questions? Commissioner Maps.
Just very quickly, first I want to share something, and then I want to pose a question to staff. colleagues, Environmental Services is in charge of regulating large dry well projects. I also want to share with you the fact that Environmental Services has collaborated with BDS around this, and we got no problems with this ordinance, and I will be voting yes. However, I was wondering if there's any background on why I think the legislature made these dry well regulations for small projects guidelines instead of requirements, is the way I think it historically has been. Was there a reason for that? Was this an oversight, or?
I believe there was a conflict with DEQ because they have regulation over that, and then the plumbing code was an additional regulation. So to clean that up, they removed the plumbing specialty code, that wording in the plumbing specialty code, which it still cites that they need to meet the DEQ standards, which our ordinance also says that.
Okay, kind of understand. Thank you for that. I got no more questions.
Great, thank you. There are no further discussions. Any public testimony on this item?
No one signed up.
All right, this is a first reading of a non-emergency ordinance. It moves to second reading. Thank you. 559, please. And that's an emergency ordinance.
Increase the cap on number of applications allowed within each fiscal year under the Home Buyer Opportunity Limited Tax Exemption Program to 500 units.
Commissioner Rubio.
Thank you, Mayor. Colleagues, I'm very excited to bring forward this proposal from the Housing Bureau to expand the city's Home Buyer Opportunity Limited Tax Exemption Program. Over the past decade, the HOLTE program has helped over 1,000 families achieve home ownership by offering an incentive for new family-sized homes that are sold to low and moderate income families. The HOLTE program does this by reducing the property taxes that homeowners pay for up to 10 years. Currently, the city allows 100 newly constructed homes each year to apply for this program. If those homes are sold to a family up to 100% AMI, but we know that there is much more interest. Our nonprofit and for-profit home builders recognize the benefit of the program provides, and when the applications for those 100 slots open up each July, they go very quickly. As housing prices and interest rates rise and homeownership becomes more out of reach for Portland residents, it's clear that we need to do more, which is why my office has worked with PHB and our local housing organizations on a plan to expand the cap. This ordinance in front of us today increases the annual application cap to 500 for the next 3 years so that more Portland families can access the stability and wealth building that home ownership offers. PHB will then review the program to see if this change is achieving our goals. I am particularly interested in seeing how this will help boost the production of townhouses and other family-sized middle housing options in areas impacted by the residential infill changes over the last few years, and how it will allow more families of color to purchase their first homes. I'll now pass it on to the team at PHB to provide more detail before we hear public testimony.
Thank you, Commissioner Rubio. For the record, my name is Molly Rogers, Interim Director of the Portland Housing Bureau. I'm joined here with Dory Hillier, the Development Incentives Manager. This program increases affordable homeownership opportunities for low and moderate first-time home buyers, which has a generational effect for wealth building. Home buyers accessing the HOLTE earn no more than 100% of the area median income and must qualify at the time of purchase. The homes must sell below the annual price cap, which is currently set at $455,000. In fiscal year 21-22, the average family accessing the HOLTE earned closer to around 85% of the area median income and purchased a home around $350,000. The cost of the HOLTE program does impact tax revenue. However, the tax exemption applies only to the structure itself, and so the land is still taxable. And when new homes are built, the value of that underlying land increases, meaning that the tax revenue will still increase from what is being assessed before the new construction. We would appreciate council's support for offering this opportunity to even more qualified home buyers who will benefit for decades to come. With that, we'd be open for questions.
Thank you. Colleagues, questions at this point? Commissioner Mapps.
How many applicants did we get to the Holte program last year? Do we know? Or on average, how many do we tend to receive?
Excuse me. Hi, this is Dory Hellier. Commissioner Maps, thanks for the question.
Sure.
We had a fully subscribed program within a couple of months, so all 100 of those applications were submitted before the end of the first quarter of the fiscal year. We have additional applications that are then submitted by nonprofit organizations because they have lower MFI levels or income levels that are not, they're exempt from the current cap. That's about another 40 a year.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Colleagues, any other questions? Do we have public testimony on this item?
We had one person sign up. Sorry, just a second here. Preston Korst. I think they were planning to join in person. Is Preston here? Okay, nope.
All right, very good. This is an emergency ordinance. Please call the roll.
Ryan?
Yes, thank you, Commissioner Rubio. It was wonderful to see this on the agenda. I think you recall a couple years ago, it was a very different conversation. We were just trying to get the numbers up so we could get enough builders to actually participate. And so 2 years later, we're having this exciting opportunity. And it's one of the few generational wealth building programs that we have a lot of influence over. And I've always been a strong advocate for building generational wealth through home ownership. So this is really exciting. I'm just really thrilled that we're here today. It also, like you mentioned, the housing opportunities with middle housing that the state opened up. So it's a great example where this legislation at the state caught up to the reality of what we're dealing with on the ground here in Portland. And so I do see that we'll be able to expand this, and hopefully we will meet that threshold of 500. Good work. I'm excited to vote aye.
Gonzalez?
Excited to vote aye.
Maps?
Yeah, I want to thank Commissioner Rubio and the Housing Bureau for their leadership on this program. I support anything that we can do to help people buy their homes and build wealth. That is why I vote aye.
Rubio?
Thank you. I want to thank Molly and Dory for your excellent work on this, and also thank the housing builders for their advocacy. I'm happy to vote aye.
Wheeler?
Given our housing emergency, it makes sense to increase the cap on Holte from 100 to 500 so that more Portlanders can afford to, at the low and moderate income level, can afford to buy a home. As we all know, home ownership remains a key household savings vehicle and the way to deliver intergenerational wealth, especially amongst historically underserved populations. The Holte program has been embraced by home builders, and this change will expand access to more homeowners over the 3-year time frame that's proposed here in this ordinance. Although this program will forego a projected $5.2 million in property tax revenues over the 3-year period, given our critical local housing needs, I believe this is an investment well worth taking. I'm looking forward to monitoring the performance and impact of this expanded program, and therefore I vote aye, and the ordinance is adopted. Thank you both for your great presentation. Thank you, Commissioner Rubio. We are adjourned until 2 p.m.
Thank you.